Afternoon, everybody. We've seen quite a lot this morning around health and safety and developments, how linking it into TPM and everything works really well. We've got a problem in our industry. Health and safety isn't working. The message isn't getting through. The HSE in the 22-23 op year issued over 85% enforcement against foundries they visited. In the year just gone, the figures are going to be very similar. And as you'll see on the slide later on, which I'm going to try and skip through to try and keep speed up as quick as we can for the other speakers, they're coming back again to see us between now and the end of October, as well as 4 new national campaigns they're running, not just for foundries, but in the UK. So health and safety isn't working, and we've got another problem in our industry, which I'm acutely aware of because of working for the trade association. Cost of doing business has gone up for everybody in all areas, but we're struggling to get people in. We've seen lots of great technologies, lots of great skills, lots of where scientific and technical knowledge is needed. But if we can't get the people in, all of that equipment means absolutely nothing for you. So we've got to look at what we're doing. Why aren't we getting people through the door? We can't just keep saying that everybody's snowflakes and it's wages. There are a lot of other factors at play, and we need to change how we talk about health and safety. We need to change the conversation we have. So based on the amount of charts and data and everything we've seen, it fits in very well, because I thought we'd talk about a new tool, a new way of working for it, for our industry. So I thought we'd talk about this. So very, very quick straw poll. Who right now is thinking, if this idiot's going to talk about this for 20 minutes, I want to punch him in the head and throw him out the window? Put your hands up, be honest. So there's very, very few of you that put your hand up. Thank you very much for being honest. To everybody else, do not try playing poker against me, because you're lousy liars. I don't want to talk about this either, because that won't get through to people. It won't cut the mustard. It's not actually going to get to the points that need to be made. So what I thought we'd talk about instead is this, because this is really important to every single person anywhere at work in the UK today. What's the welfare like? What are the issues we've got that are stopping us having problems getting people in? No, I haven't gone mad. I haven't lost the plot. In fact, I haven't gone potty. These are really important. We were all taught as children, and you all have taught all your own children how to use a potty, and as they grow, how to use a toilet. And you'll have taught them good behaviours. You'll have taught them about hygiene. You'll have taught them about health. You'll have taught them about welfare. And if you're really unlucky, your parents at some point in the past have probably filmed you or taken photographs of you playing around with a potty, and you're either on a Harry Hill programme somewhere, or they've saved it for the first time you bought your first romantic interest home to show off. It comes to a point in time where people have to return to work, and they're looking at either placing their children into a nursery or into a creche, or possibly bringing in a babysitter, to leave with those people the most precious thing you will ever have in your life. More precious than any money, any high performance cars, anything else you could ever have. So what does everybody do? They go and ask questions. They go and look at the facilities. They look at the competence of the people. They look at everything going on. In short, everybody, when they really want to, is capable of delivering information, instruction, supervision and training, and is capable of doing risk assessments, SWOT analysis and welfare analysis. And we all reach a point in time where we grow up, we leave home, we want a place of our own. So what are we looking for when we're buying stuff? Are we looking for a Victorian Edwardian sit bath in front of a fire? I don't think so. Are we looking to have outside toilets these days? I don't think so. Although I bet over the years, many of us have been on campsites with families and friends where the facilities were similar to that. And unless you are the most diehard zealot, sealed not society member, you're not looking to buy something with a garderobe. This is what everybody's looking for. Hotel quality, hotel standard welfare facilities, spotlessly clean. The stuff you show off to all your family and friends and anybody that turns up in the house. It's now seen as a human right in a first world country that we have facilities like this in our own homes. Everybody knows this, including foundry owners, directors and management. Likewise, thanks to Mr. Darby, we're here today because of the developments in iron and melting technologies. But we're not looking to cook like this in the UK, nor are we looking to still have these types of facilities. But a couple of photos there to gratuitously show off some nice casting, so couldn't miss that opportunity, could I? What we're looking for is something like this. You see it in every DIY program on the TV, every renovation program, and even when people are saying they're downsizing to some house in some country somewhere under the sun, they all seem to want a kitchen that's so damn big you could almost put a whole other house in it, that will be kept spotlessly clean, either by themselves or by a cleaner. So this is what we want for ourselves. It's what everybody wants. It's what everybody sees is as their inalienable right to have this. So when it comes to the world of work, and we've got people with these facilities at home and they're running a business or they're managing a business, should we actually need to morally or legally be told that we've got to provide these kind of facilities for the people who are actually doing the work for us on the shop floor, who are physically making the castings, who are physically earning us the money? And you'd like to think in this day and age in a first world country, the answer to that would be no, we shouldn't need to be. Sadly, however, we have to be, because people get this fundamentally wrong. And when you look at the examples that are there on the screen, no hot water or warm water for washing, not provided suitable and sufficient rest facilities. That particular one was because they'd got no rest facilities at all. They'd got a toilet on site, no canteen, no washrooms, no proper changing rooms. Nearing the end of the first quarter of the 21st century in a first world country. How can that morally be right? And everyone's seen me talk about the HSE website before, and the fact that if you get enforcement from them, 5 years for an improvement or a prohibition notice, 10 years for a prosecution. What does that mean for us as a business? Anybody, anywhere in the world, with any form of internet connected technology, be it a computer, be it a very cheap mobile phone, be it an internet cafe, can see that somebody's been very naughty. They can see everything that's gone wrong. I spend a lot of time delivering management training at the present moment in time. When I'm working with a foundry and I know they've had enforcement, I'll type in the foundry name and I usually type in health and safety, and a number of things come up. But obviously, being Google, I've blocked everything out at the top because the names have been hidden to protect the guilty. The LinkedIn profile's not important. Nasty comments made about a foundry's health and safety arrangements, made by an ex-employee on a recruitment website. You might think that's one disgruntled person, but when you start scrolling down and you see things like this all the time, and lots of references from safety magazines, from safety equipment suppliers, from the HSE, from solicitors, from ROSPA, from IOSH, it's now automatically, whether that foundry likes it or not, that is its shop floor window, and it's a very nasty one. It's now got people looking at it thinking, do I not want to go and work at that foundry when they're advertising for a job, or do I not want to work in any foundry? So are people's poor health and safety performances, when they're made public, are they impacting on our ability to recruit people in the first place? Parents always want everything better for their offspring and for their children, family and friends. Don't come and work where I work. The conditions are terrible. But you work there all your life. Yeah, well, I'm used to it now. And thanks to COVID, and thanks to the rest of the world moving on, and so many career opportunities in so many different industries are a lot cleaner, a lot quieter, a lot less physically stressful due to the heavy work than our own industry. Is it any wonder that we can't recruit on a regular basis 16 to 24-year-olds? We can't just say they're all snowflakes and don't want to work, because we do get some people in the industry. But we've got a problem. We're competing for a global workforce that's getting smaller and smaller. And every time as foundries, we still seem to forget this double X chromosome. So we still only seem to talk to half of the population that's available potentially for work. And then we keep trying to put other obstacles in our way. So we become our own worst enemy. And of course, when anything's public and it's worldwide like this, everybody that you don't want to see it sees it. Every single group of people that you don't want to see your poor performance and that you're trying to attract employees to, new customers to, ex-customers to, existing customers to give you more work. As the world doubles down on ESG and social requirements and everything else of the sort, and we look at the younger generations coming through, if they see this kind of stuff and they're talking to their friends on social media and everything else, what's motivating them to come and work for us? We've become our own worst enemy again. The HSE, when they find things really bad, will put pictures up on their website occasionally. Thankfully, those two are not taken in a foundry, but within the past 5 years in the UK, I've been in places where the facilities aren't much better than that by a long shot. So we've got somebody in, we've managed to persuade somebody to come in, and I bet most foundries, when they give a tour around during interviews, don't take people inside the toilets and inside the changing rooms. But somebody started on day one, be it at tea break or the first time they need a comfort break. They go in, the facilities look like they've been bombed. They're used to nice, very clean, immaculate welfare facilities. What's motivating them to stay? When people say we can't get somebody to stay for a single shift, is it just the hard work, or is it how they perceive that we're looking after them? I took this photo at Radstock Mining Museum, so I've got their permission to use this poster. This is from February 1974, and I'm going to zoom in on just a couple of few things here. The mining industry, because everybody knows it's dark, it's dirty, it's dangerous, they were advertising in 1974 about all the good things that they're doing to look after people. Today, foundries do the equivalent thing. It's called LinkedIn. It's everybody's posts when they're putting pictures in, showing stuff of processes. For every time there's a picture of somebody stood around there with loads of fumes and smoke, people not wearing PPE correctly, video clips on companies' websites showing the same thing, looking like the dark satanic mills. First time something goes wrong and the regulator might have to come along and look at us, they won't just look at their own intelligence database, which is for life, not just for the public pages. They'll look at your websites. They'll look at your video clips. They'll look at your images. They will look on every source of social media. In many cases, they may have already decided where you're going to get enforcement action if they then physically see the same thing on site before their backsides have even left their offices. So as we tell everybody to be careful about what we post on social media to avoid bullying and harassment and all online trolling, we need to take a serious look at what we do. And on a regular basis, I do talk to foundries, as does my boss, Pam Morell, and say to them, really nice post, put a different image up. For the love of God, put a different image up. I don't want to have to stand behind a lectern all the time preaching like these people do. So for anyone who's not sure, Billy Graham and John Wesley. I would love to come to this sort of event and be in the audience like yourselves all day, listening about the new technologies or updated versions of technologies, because I have just as much interest in foundries and materials and the processes as anybody else does in this room. But the industry's got to change, and it's got to start and call itself out, because the only people that can fix these issues is the industry itself. Otherwise, we're always going to be harangued by the regulator, by claim solicitors, by prosecutors. As I said, I do a lot of training, and part of the problem we have, and this links into some of the things that Tony and others have been talking about this morning, there's an awful lot of people outside the health and safety profession at every level within businesses, from supervisors right to the very top, who don't actually know what their health and safety roles and responsibilities are. But if you're in a position where you've got direct or indirect responsibility for somebody else, you have them. It comes as part of the package. But there's a lot of people don't actually know they've got them, never mind know what they are. Then we have a bit of an elephant in the room. People don't want to accept them. Oh, health and safety, that's Richard's job. That's Richard's job. That's Samantha's job. No, if you're leading a team of people, health and safety is a very, very, very big part of your job. Job descriptions are terrible at describing to people what they're actually going to be doing, what their roles and responsibilities are. So we promote people up. They don't know all of the details that actually goes with the job. And then no wonder they don't want to take responsibility for stuff. So we have a problem. Academia has the same problem. Go and get an MBA in management. Teaches you very little on how to look after your own team when they're at work. Teaches you how to hire them. Teaches you how to fire them. Doesn't teach you how to look after them properly. And then most have never been educated or trained in what these roles and responsibilities are, never mind being IOSH or NEBOSH trained or getting an MSc in health and safety. It's not uncommon at all when I'm sitting in front of an entire management team and I'm saying to them, when did you last have any form of formal or informal training in health and safety around your jobs? For them to turn around and go, 30 years ago when I did my apprenticeship. So Shift is 21 years old. It was 21 years old in March, the safety initiative. We did a lot of work with directors and leaders and senior people, and they've grown up, they've moved on, they've retired, they've left. We've got the next generation that have come in. And sadly, in a lot of areas, they still don't know any more in reality than what these first people did. Or they do know, just don't want to accept it and think, I'll wait for the odd day that somebody might come and look at me. Well, the industry has been looked at very, very seriously by the HSE. When they run these national campaigns of such scale, 3 years later, they run another one because it's a series of follow-up visits to make sure we're still doing what we were told to do. So they ain't done with us for any length of time yet by a long shot. This is what they're looking at in this operational year. The first 4 are national campaigns, all industries, all sectors. The noise one is a multi-year campaign, potentially running for up to 4 years. I know this, I've already had a meeting with their NMV teams. Wood dust, because of the amount of issues they found across multiple sectors. Health surveillance, because so many people either hadn't done it, were looking at the wrong things, were not taking actions when they should have done, be this air quality monitoring or be it personal health surveillance. And hey presto, foundries, they're coming for us again. I'm no psychiatrist, I'm no psychologist. I know what I know, I can learn whatever I need to learn. Problem is we have to change, and change has to want to come from within. If we don't look to change, if we don't look to adapt, if we don't look to pull all of our offerings, be it guarding on machinery, be it welfare facilities, be it RPE, be it PPE, be it management. Management is a big failing. If we don't look to bring this into the 21st century, why should people come and work for us? But nobody sets out thinking, I'd love a 50-year career sitting on a till at Aldi. But the amazing careers and technologies and ever-advancing improvements we've got in our industry should be dragging people in. But we've got to change. So I'm going to wrap up by quoting a well-known philosopher, psychiatrist, and psychologist by plagiarizing one of his statements. If you can't recruit, if you can't retain, you've got to bring sexy back. Thank you very much.